Welcome to the court. This is Acker at Basketball.
Hello, welcome to the Accurate Basketball Podcast, Season 3, Episode number 7 now. You're here with the ultimate father-son duo. When it comes to ASUN Sports Talk, I'm Curtis D. Acker.
And I'm the father, Mark Acker.
So let's get right into it. On June 26th, it was announced there's going to be some conference realignments going on. So there's going to be a new UCA officially now covering all sports. And we've got our very own new ASUN conference. Those teams are going to be Bellarmine, FGCU, Jacksonville, Lipscomb, North Florida, Queens, and Stetson. So those are the guys that are staying. This is happening as of July 2026. And then we've got the new UCA going on now. So that's going to be Abilene Christian. Then we've also got Austin Peay, Central Arkansas, EKU, North Alabama, Tarleton State, then also Texas Arlington, and then you got West Georgia as the most recent newcomer to the ASUN. Quick in and out from West Georgia. But so this obviously warrants a discussion between you and I, and
Right.
Be sure to leave your comments on the move down below. I know we had someone ask about it last week, so definitely let us know your comments on it once you hear ours. Let's start with you, because I think we can both agree we were disappointed last week.
It was a
Or
bummer.
2 weeks ago.
Exactly. It was a bummer to hear. I mean, it happens, obviously. We've had a lot of conference realignment. If it financial, who knows what really drove this. It
Right.
did seem like it's kind of a little bit of an east-west split, right, from the ASUN conference as far as the schools that are moving on versus the ones that are staying.
Right, exactly. For North Alabama, this makes sense. For probably West Georgia, this makes sense a little bit too. Central Arkansas, it definitely makes sense
Yeah.
for. Like, those teams were a little kind of out in the open. I'm a little confused when it comes to P and
Exactly.
Eastern Kentucky.
Yep.
Unless maybe it's just a competition thing.
Right. Exactly.
But we don't really know what that competition level is going to look like, because it's such a
Not at all.
bits
Still
and
very
pieces.
Exactly.
Because most of these teams are coming from the WAC.
Right, exactly. That's the other conference that's combining here. WAC was already being broken up, and now we've got just maybe a next step of that evolution. Now that they had broken up, now they're evolving into something new. I wouldn't be surprised if the ASUN maybe happens there too to increase their number of schools rather than having it at 8.
Right.
It would be interesting. Again, speculation.
I think they're at
says that
7 right now.
or 7 or what? Yeah, 7. You're right. I'm sorry.
7. Yeah.
7 schools all left there. It's not a great depth of conference, so hopefully they can do maybe something similar with another conference to
Right.
stay relevant, obviously.
Right.
So,
But for North Alabama, we also have some other news. So it looks like Tay Fields did not get granted an extra year of eligibility. I know we talked about that on last week's episode. So it doesn't look like he's got that. He's moved on to pro basketball now.
Right.
Got an agency and everything. So unfortunate, because I wanted to see some more Tay Fields basketball
exactly.
in the ASUN. But let's get into the guys that are also moving on. And we'll start with this week's team, Central Arkansas.
Right, Central Arkansas. Right. So players that aged out. Actually, there's only one. Elias Cato, 926 points in 101 games over 4 seasons at UCA. The Australian improved his scoring numbers each year, topped off by a 14.5-point average last season. Cato, he averaged 4.4 rebounds, blocked 76 shots in his career. Good all-around numbers. He went from starting part-time and dressing part-time, I should say, his freshman year, ended up his last season, started all 28 games, averaged 30 minutes per game.
Yeah, and then so with that wrapping up, the guys that have exhausted their eligibility, we'll move into the transfer outs. You got Lane Taylor, another Arkansas native. Lane Taylor's spent his true freshman season starting all 20 games that he played in. He was the team's leading scorer throughout the entire season, 17.5 points just about per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, 3.7 assists per game, had a 10 assist double-double against Eastern Kentucky, also a season-high 29-point performance against Bellarmine. He's going to end up going to the Missouri Valley Conference. He's going to play for Murray State, which we all know the Racers are prone to some March Madness magic every now and then. now and then, excuse me. So they can make an appearance every now and then out of that conference. So I think that's what Taylor's going to do. Little unfortunate he's leaving, considering he was, I believe, the highest rated player ever recruited to Central Arkansas for men's basketball. But he's moving on to what he thinks is a better situation, so you got to wish him well.
And a local kid as well, which you hear this story about.
Well, exactly.
You might hear that a bit here with Central Arkansas if you didn't know that already about their roster makeup.
That's very common.
Braden Fegbemi, single season with the Bears, yielded a strong 11.4 point and a team-leading 4.7 assist stat line, including, and thirdly, 4.1 rebounds. Another player that does a lot of different things. 25.8 assist game was a season high against North Alabama in early February. Fegbemi, he heads west to UC Davis. Big move for him.
Yeah, well, obviously you're going completely, pretty much across coast. He also spent some time with Johns Hopkins University at the Division II level for a little while here. Just continues to probably go up in competition level for Fegbemi here as he continues to move forward in his career here.
And then you got Nehemiah Turner, who's an absolute beast in the middle, 6'10" forward, two-time All-District selection for his Central Florida high school team. Started 10 of 33 games he played last year, 8.5 points per game. Also made 51% of his shots from inside. Went to his after this strong freshman season here, where we weren't really sure when he was going to come on, and they came on strong at the end there. And now he's going to be ended up going to play for the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the Big Ten. So big upgrade there for Turner. See if he gets some playing time up there, and then maybe, who knows? He's got an NBA body.
That's right. Yes, he does, for sure. Yep. Good potential for him.
Yes.
Yep. Guard Michael Barhayu, he played 30 games, started 19, averaged 7.3 points, 5.6 rebounds per game, shot 41% from the floor, only 19% from three. So really more of an inside player. Season high 23-point, 10 rebound, 6 assists, 3 steal game he had this year. That was a 1-point overtime win against North Florida. Heck of an effort from Michael during that game. 3 double-doubles on the season. I'm thinking going forward here, he might become a Bills, maybe even a Sabres fan as he moves to Canisius up north in western New York.
Zero chance he becomes a Sabres fan. Are you kidding me?
Come on, we need Sabres fans.
I know this is for a basketball podcast, but I just gotta tell you. Oh my gosh! By the way, was that English when you said his last name? Evbegharu.
I don't know what it was.
You got it out
I
though.
apologize.
I'm proud. I am proud of you for getting that out. Good on you.
So next up, we do end up having Ben Fox. So I remember at the beginning of the season, John Schulman said the only person that doesn't think he can play basketball is Ben Fox, or at least sometimes doesn't think they can play basketball. The Little Rock native ended up being one of 3 Bears to play in all 33 games this season. Started 22 of those, 67%. Obviously, a big contributing piece to the puzzle here. 6.5 points per game, which, as we talked about, is a very serviceable number for a starter at this level, 110%. Season high 18 points against West Georgia on January 29th. That was Devin's birthday. Shout out to Devin real quick, one of my buddies from high school. Just actually ended up getting engaged, so congrats to him. Yeah, for some reason, this guy still doesn't have a team next year, though, Ben Fox. I don't understand it.
That's very odd. Yeah, I totally agree.
Could just be because of where, kind of like what we talked about with Bellarmine last week. Central Arkansas finished towards the bottom of the ASUN, so maybe that just scared some teams off. Or maybe made a decision. We just haven't found it yet.
Right. That's also possible, right? Moving on, Diogo DJ Satius. He's from Portugal, played his sophomore season at UCA. 33 games played, 6 starts. He averaged 3 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and about 16.5 minutes is what he averaged per performance there, too. He also struggled. Another player struggled from threes, was expected to have some action there.
Like who? Who's that? Who's that?
Michael Evbegharu.
Evbegharu.
Excuse me. I'm getting all choked up now. Right.
Tell me a little bit more about Diogo, though.
But he also, struggled from threes. Also, 44% on his 2-point, but inside the arc, 44%. So another nice player inside. Struggle from the outside. Season high 13 points 2 times this year. And he's another player who hasn't declared, or we haven't found where he's playing, if he's playing at all in the U.S. or in NCAA basketball next season.
Right. And then you got Gloria Tim, which is a name that was very commonly shouted out over the past 2 seasons at UCA. After a couple at Bowling Green University, actually. Started 32 games out of the 49 that he played. He ended up having kind of a diminished role this past season, which could be big reason why he ended up moving to Southeastern Louisiana, which is in that Southland Conference.
That's right. And finally, for players, not for all players.
Not
players
finally,
not
finally on this page.
On this page, right? Finally, this page. Sorry, Jabari West Jr., Hot Springs, Arkansas's native. Jabari West played short minutes in 15 games, contributing a point and a half, 1.2 rebounds for his efforts. He did have a nice 8.3 rebound performance against North Alabama. Played 12 minutes. That was his season high in that game as well. Previously played at JUCO South Plains College. Once again, hasn't declared, or not that we found, where he's playing next season.
Right, and he might be one of those guys, too, with having played that JUCO year. He might get granted that extra year of eligibility at some point.
Yes.
So that could be something good for him.
Great point.
Next up, we got on a new page now, J.D. Roberts. So he was a walk-on for the 23-24 season. The 6'6" guard appeared in 6 games in this past season, scoring 5 points actually against D2 Randall University, which is where he's heading. He's not heading to Randall, but he's heading to Division II for Minnesota Crookston. He's going to be playing for the Golden Eagles. Also, JD is one of the consistent guys that likes our Instagram posts and stuff like that. So a big shout out JD once again for doing that for us. And if you want to check out our Instagram, Twitter pages, or X page, I guess it's called X now. I refuse to call it X though. It's still Twitter. But anyways, if you want to check that out, we'll leave the links for those in the description as well. Looking forward to seeing what JD can do at the Division II level. Could be a good move for him.
Right. Oh, for sure. Nice old man call out for yourself there too. I'm not change it. I gotta call it Twitter.
I can't accept
These
it.
kids these days with their X.
Not that old.
No, not at all. Peyton Manning.
So who's finally for us?
Right, finally, on the transfers out. Another former walk-on, Connor Mansell. He dressed 9 games this season. Made 1 3-point bucket, 1 for 6 total in his shooting. His high school, though, he had a really good high school season career. Finished off as a senior state championship from his club. Here's a good nugget for Connor. He has broken one or the other arm 5 times in his life. I think it's just a testament to how much effort he puts into what he does.
I didn't see that. Where'd you see that before?
I found that in some article. I thought it was a really, really cool little tidbit.
He just keeps breaking his arms?
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
it was.
Yeah, he's got to be going gun-hung
he
and
just
everything.
Goes all at it. Exactly.
That's how you should do it, right?
That's right.
Now let's look at the guys that are actually going to be coming to Central Arkansas for this upcoming season. First off, we got Parker Applegate, who's a physical forward, and actually he is listed as a guard on their website. But this guy's 6'8", 210. He's not going to end up playing guard for him, I don't think, at least. But regardless of that, last season Applegate bombed 50% of his shots from the floor, including 52% from long range. Really, really, really good number there. 12.3 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, almost a block and a half per game last season. And for that to be coming to your organization when you're trying to rebuild is a very, very big piece that is going to work on either the starting 5 or off the bench, I feel like.
Exactly. Coach Schulman's ecstatic to have him. You read some quotes online if you can, but he said he hated playing against Applegate when they played.
Oh, right, because that's because they used to play against each other, right?
Exactly. That's right. He said that was his words. I hated playing against him. So he's on the opposite side, obviously, very excited to have him on his own roster here. So
right, absolutely.
Tells you a little bit about what the coach thinks of him.
Applegate coming from Union University.
That's right. Moving on to Rashad Bolden, returns to Division I after 2 high-scoring seasons at Division II Mississippi College, where he was coached by his father, Randy. While at Mississippi College, he averaged 24.8 points per game, including a 41.5 steal effort against Christian Brothers back in January. He did begin his college career, I mentioned Division I, Southern Miss, where he started all 30 games, earning Conference USA All-Freshman status for that season.
Right, we talked about that in our actually our first episode of the season, I believe.
Yeah.
So he, I think he took our number 2 spot for. If you want to go look at that, you can go check that out as well. We'll leave that in the description too. Moving on to Cameron Hunter, a Bryant, Arkansas native. Once you kind of previewed it earlier, there's a lot of Arkansas guys coming back home, I guess, instead of coming to town for the first time. But Cameron Hunter returns where he actually started for his not his senior season. It was his freshman season and sophomore year, and I believe junior year as well too. He got hurt, and he ended up missing that entire season. He had to take the redshirt year. Then goes off to Wisconsin, ended up playing in a limited role last year. Now he's back home. Back in Central Arkansas. He's going to be an electric 2-guard for these guys coming in. He shot 15.5 points per game last time he was in the ASUN. Yeah, he's definitely. I don't think he's gonna skip a beat when he comes back. He's gonna come back and be kind of like an Ignacevich type of thing, where it's not Ignacevich had to sit out a year. Obviously, a little bit of a different situation where Hunter leaves for a year, but comes back and just is electric the entire season.
I think combination of coming back from the injury and just changing to a different program, obviously a higher level program, just didn't adapt quite to the style of play that Wisconsin was running. So returning home, I think it'll do him some good there.
Absolutely,
for sure. They're counting on it, no doubt.
Yes, I have a feeling they're going to rely on him heavily as far as like what they're expecting of him.
Yep, exactly. We'll talk a little bit more about that later here. 6'2" guard Riley Marshall. Yeah, guess what? Another Arkansas native. He played 3 seasons at Division II Harding University. Past 2 seasons, averaged 14 points shooting per game, shooting threes at a 40% rate. Nice long-range shooter here. Yeah. He at Harding, they won the Great American Conference last season. They won their tournament, and he was a 2-time All-GAC conference selection.
Nice, yeah. He's going to be one of the more stereotypical point guards that you got, or at least as far as your ball handler point guard. And they got a couple of those guys on this team, which is really good, which is a archetype Schulman likes. But let's move into an archetype that Schulman at least hasn't expressed his feelings about it all, but something I'm really excited for. 6'7", 250-pound Chris freaking Mason. You go watch this guy's film. He is a bulldog. He is just incredible. Once he has the ball, if he gets down and gets his speed going, you better get out of the way. This guy's, he spent the last season at Northeast Oklahoma. They go by NEO. And that is the Golden Norseman, actually, which is really cool name. One of his teammates actually transferred to his team that we'll talk about a little bit later. You'll see that. He had 9 double-doubles, shot 64% from the field, 56% from 3 on 16 shots. So it's not like he only took a couple threes and they just happened to go in. This guy took at least a decent amount of threes, almost, I would say, every other game. He's taking a 3 and he's making half of those. Yeah,
he's got the touch I think at this level of play too, that element of the high 2-and-2 game, where he can step out and pop a 3 if they sag off of him, that's going to be lethal right there.
76% free throw percentage too, so a lot of potential there as well. That shows that he's got the shooting splits.
Yep, good personality too. If you want, check out some of his interviews. He's a really good watch.
Yes, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about their freshman class though.
Yeah, we'll start off freshman class, a good group of guys. Once again, we'll start off with 6'6" guard Harrison Beauchamp. He's one of 2 Australian freshmen joining the Bears. Harry played last season at Australian Level 2 NBL League. He captained, on top of that, he captained the U17 national team. And in 2024 FIBA World Cup, he was the MVP. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals per game during that tournament.
And the Aussies are quite fun. I can tell from firsthand experience of living with one that they are a great time.
That's right.
Speaking of Aussies, we got another one. So Thomas Byrne. Byrne also most recently played in the NBL 1, league in Australia. He averaged 1.7 points and 1.3 rebounds and some limited action. Once again, these young guys really don't get much action in that league. It's more in the semi-pro leagues and in their
international stuff as well.
Right, exactly. But the 6'10 forward has great scoring touch and court vision. He's also a 3-time high school state champion.
Right.
So coming from there, that's going to be incredible. Getting some guys with some pro level experience, 2 of them, not just 1.
That's right. By the way, you said that in Australian, it came out Thomas, but I'm thinking you meant Truman Byrne.
I did say Thomas. You are right. Sorry about that, Truman.
All right. 6'9" power forward Malkia Marable averaged 11 points, 10 rebounds at Hargrave Military Academy last season. 3-time All-State prior to that at Merritt High School, and he's a high IQ, athletic, strong player. He plays both ends of the floor. He also can step out and drop those 3-pointers, similar to Chris Mason.
Right. And then you've got Luke Moore, who's more of a home cooking for UCA, if you want to call it. He's from Little Rock Central. The 6'2" guard is entering this program after being a 4-time all-conference selection. He was also the 2025 Central Conference Player of the Year, 19.4 points, 6.1 rebounds, 4 assists, and adding in a couple steals as well. 39% from deep, too.
Yeah.
This guy, I think, is going to be a type of guard that Shulman is like salivating over.
Yes, you got to watch him. I think he's got some potential for sure. Talk about that. 6A state champion from, guess where? Arkansas.
Whoa.
Takes a short ride up I 40 to Conway. This is RJ Newton. He's got an electric game. 6'5" lefty combo guard. He's got range, versatility around the arc. Per Max Preps stats I could find, 8.1 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 4.4 assists. It is senior season, so not just a pure shooter, but obviously also can dish it out as well.
Right. And that's another key point of being a ultimate guard in this league, is being able to do that.
Oh yeah.
Then you got another guard that's coming in. This last name should seem very familiar. This man without a picture right here, because I didn't want to take a picture of him going to prom or something like that. So that's why he's just got the NCAA logo up. J.C. Shulman is the son of Coach John Shulman here. I almost put up a picture of John Shulman too, actually.
Not that one.
Just think of a younger version of him. But he played for the Conway Wampus Cats this past year. There wasn't really much information online about him, unfortunately. Definitely likes to run and shoot 3-pointers, though, from the video
a lot of threes,
that we were able to see from Shulman.
Exactly. Yep.
So let's move into the breakdown of Central Arkansas. What do you see just as far as the off-season transactions, maybe trajectory for the season?
Right. So we just ran through 11 players in and out for Central Arkansas, and that translated to a big number, 73. 73 is the number of points. That's the point average of the players that left Central Arkansas for their point average. Obviously, some were injured during the year and whatnot, so it's a little skewed. But that's a lot of points to be giving up in a year.
Absolutely.
From season to season. For me, I think I like a decent amount of talent coming in on their recruiting class, both as freshmen and transfers in. To me, Beauchamp, Applegate, Byrne, Marable, strength, length. What I think of them, they're going to be much harder to play against defensively because of those 4.
Right.
The things that they can bring to the floor. Offensively, I think Cameron Hunter's a huge key. You said you see him as a 2 guard. I'm thinking the offense is going to flow through him. That's the fuel for their engine. I think they've got some other talent they can create on their own, but he's going to be a real driver to that, given his experience.
Right. I just kind of figured more like L.J. Thomas last year for Austin P. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like he was playing more of the 2 guard, but he was the ball dominant 2 guard, like the scoring guard.
Right.
So yeah, that's just why. And I saw on Real GM he was listed as a 2 as well.
Okay.
So that's just why I said with him. But continue to, because you're getting into it here. I like it.
Yeah. Rashad Bolden, and I look at Rashad Bolden as far as the newcomers coming as being a strong complement to that from a guard, ball handling guard perspective, creating offense. Or I like to see what he can do there. Played plenty at D2, so let's see where he goes. A huge key, Parker, offensive end, again, Parker Applegate. He's dynamic. He's energetic. He's physical. He's gonna set the tone in my mind for what of the newcomers. I like him as the main driver for that. Again, well, I mentioned the other guys too, Marable and Beauchamp and Byrne. I think they're gonna complement him.
Well, it kind of reminds me of like, I remember Schulman last year was gleaming about Cole McCormick coming in
right.
last year, which actually I saw because J.C. Schulman is from Chattanooga.
Yep.
That's where McCormick's listed as being from too, and McCormick's still on the team
Right.
as well. So I'm wondering if there was maybe some. I haven't done enough research to see into it, but I think there might have been some previous connection there, possibly. And McCormick's like a big guard/forward that has a lot of high energy, will play whatever you want. So I know Schulman is on record as saying that he loves point guards and he'd play 4 of them if he could, but it seems like he's finding another archetype of player that he likes as well.
Right.
And then I'm excited to see what Chris Mason can do. He's going to get a lot of comparisons to Kenneth Lofton Jr., because he's the exact size that Lofton Jr. was listed at.
Right.
They're a little bit different of players, but I see the like overpowering ability to be very similar for that. So I'm excited to once again see what happens there.
For you ASUN fans, I kind of attribute him to a similarity to perhaps Say Witt from Austin P.
Yeah.
Kind of real strong inside, real direct, aggressive, physical player, tough to guard, slippery, quick, for a big man, right?
Yes.
And with touch.
With touch too. Yeah, and with passing ability.
He may have a little more outside game as well, more than Say was more of a pure inside back to the basket kind of forward.
Right.
But from an inside play, that's what I saw Mason being. So another element. I just overall, again, a nice group. This is an up and coming team on the upswing in my mind, and this class is really freshmen in and recruits in is really going to take this team to another level. That's what I see happening here.
Yeah.
I like what they did in the offseason.
Yeah, I do as well. I think it's going to be an upswing year for Central Arkansas. I don't know if you're going to be in the tops of the conference right now, but I like the fact that Schulman also got older this offseason too, compared to his team from last year.
Right.
And got more experience.
More physical, harder to play against. Again, they got walked over a lot last year on the defensive end of the floor. They're not going to get walked over this year.
Right.
Sure.
And one more thing too before we move on, I did want to bring one concern note I have. You don't have a guy quite like Nehemiah Turner anymore.
Oh, true.
You don't have a guy that size and that has that body. So I definitely think that's going to be something that they're going to have to play without now.
Right. Exactly. Oh, I agree.
And I think they also brought Marable and Byrne can both end up doing that.
They're in the same mold, similar mold.
Similar molds,
right.
Exactly.
Right. Very good. That's our Central Arkansas breakdown. Again, tell us what you think. If you agree, disagree, or have some other comments about it. Excited about this squad. Again, they're on the way up.
Yes. So let's talk on now Eastern Kentucky. So a couple of guys have exhausted their eligibility, including over 2,000 point scorer Devontae Blanton. He had 152 games played over the past 5 seasons with this team. Averaged 13.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game. A career high 36 point performance against Jacksonville State on December 21st of last year. Now, that number to showcase for him was really hard to pick because he had so many games where he contributed a ridiculous number of assists and a ridiculous number of blocks and then a ridiculous number of steals that game.
Shots,
like
or whatever
he
it might be.
contributed everywhere. This guy is Mr. EKU. He's Mr. Colonel. When you see him, like seriously, he is. He did everything in his power to help this team succeed, and he definitely deserves to have his name in the EKU Athletics Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yep. Also aging out, PJ Nussbaum. He played 4 seasons at Virginia Military Institute, and then the center spent his senior year with Coach AW. Played 23 games, 1.2 point per game average, shooting 58% from the field, with a season best 10 points at North Florida in February.
Yeah, and that was a time of year that was really important when the ASUN was kind of collapsing among itself against, as far as like each week there was a new team in the number 1 spot, like the standing shuffle would just be insane from there.
Yeah.
And so for Nussbaum to step up and have a big performance against UNF, who was a team they were competing heavily against in that standings shuffle at that time, is big.
Started making that separation, right? EKU did at that point. That was
Right,
a critical
that's-
juncture.
Yes. Then we've got George Kimball is one of the guys that transferred out. So he's not going to be playing next season, actually. He's going to be redshirting due to injury, but he's going to be going to Vanderbilt for the next year. He also spent some time with Acker College at Division II, which I didn't actually get to see him play, but I got to make a few game announcements against that college the next season while I was down near Rollins College. Kimball, just an incredible season for this guy. Second team, ASUN. I thought he should have been first team personally. 18 points, 2.6 steals, 3.2 assists. I guess I can't say he should have been first team because, like, I'm just saying that because a lot of guys deserved first team. You know what I mean?
From a talent and dominance perspective, yes, I think the injury hurt him. Probably cost him that.
Yeah,
first team.
that could be. But yeah, no, there were so many guys that were dominant and deserving of that first team spot last year.
That's right.
Including the guys that got it.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Tell me a little bit about Mayer, though.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of that. There's a guy that just did everything under the radar, but was really good at everything he did. Mayer Wohl, he blossomed his one season at EKU. After a modest freshman season at College of Charleston, Wohl dropped 8.9 points, 4.8 rebounds per game, played all 32 games that the Colonels had. Just impactful both ends of the floor. Like I said, he was named the ASUN's 6th man of the year. That pretty much tells it all. Right? It defines what Mayer Wohl brought to the floor. He did have 13 double-digit scoring games, topped by a 25-point performance against West Georgia. So, again, he another player that if he asked to run and gun and just fly, he did. If he needed to be locked down defensively, he did as well.
Yeah, he's that Swiss Army knife type of player, and he's going to be a big piece for Bradley next year.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Who Bradley, once again, they're always kind of in that conversation for getting an NCAA bid.
Yep.
Like the College of Charleston, where he came from. Another guy coming from the College of Charleston, and this will be now the first season where Mayer Wohl does not have him on his team because this guy is going to South Dakota. That would be Jordan Crawford. So he's going for his junior season now at South Dakota, going to play for the Coyotes in the Summit League. Crawford was also a guy that came in and had some modest time at the College of Charleston, played under the now coach of the Louisville Cardinals, and he averaged just about 8 points per game this past season, which was really serviceable, and he was really consistent, I felt like, throughout the season for EKU the whole time. He also averaged nearly a steal and a half, which was seventh in the conference. Excuse me, I backed away from my microphone there for a second. Also, season highlight, 22-point game against West Georgia, 14.5 steal out against North Florida as well.
Right.
Another tough loss.
It was. Yeah, exactly. Here's a guy I thought kind of maybe underperformed, but unfortunately, Tyler Andrews played one season for EKU. He'll be playing for the SWAC's Bethune-Cookman coming up. The reason I said that, first game I think I watched at EKU last year. Andrews popped 5 threes, 15 points.
Yeah.
So I went, oh man, look at this guy. He can bomb it, and he just wasn't able to repeat that performance. That was back in December over Eastern Illinois. 3.6 points per game. 70% of his shots were from three. He knocked down 31% of them, so not bad. They're good numbers. And I think he can continue with that, no doubt. Give him a new opportunity there in what was really a crowded group here.
Crowded backcourt in EKU
exactly.
last year too,
That's
or
right.
even the wings too.
Yes.
Really good. Just everywhere,
Backcourt.
honestly.
Yeah.
It was a stacked lineup.
Exactly. That's right.
You got Kirill Martinov, the center, big man. We haven't talked about any bigs for EKU yet as far as the guys that are transferring out. Played his junior season at EKU. He had 25 games played. Averaged more rebounds than he did points, 2.3 points, 2.7 rebounds per game. Also 59% shooting from the floor, so once again, a really good number there. Also played for, he played for, I believe it was Eastern Michigan as well, and then he had a season-high 9.12 rebound performance at Central Arkansas on the 2nd of this year. He's going to play for Fairleigh Dickinson this upcoming season. Another team who just recently had some March Madness success.
Exactly. Yep. Common theme.
It really is. That's good for the ASUN.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. we'll move on to guard Micah Davis. Freshman season at EKU, he was a backup. Again, we had that really deep backcourt. Not a lot of playing time available for Micah. He did play in 13 games. High school in Indiana, he was all Indiana All-State player. Averaged 25 points per game, including a school record 43. Obviously a single game high there. He'll be going to back home basically to IU Indy of the Horizon League in the fall. So good opportunity again for him to draw off the experience he had here, watching the likes of Blanton and Kimball, and he can turn that into some new action. Hopefully get some more playing time there.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. The Horizon League's a league of opportunity, especially for guys like Davis.
Yeah.
Then you got Robbie Todd, who's going to end up going to U Pike. He spent the last 2 seasons in Richmond here with EKU. He appeared in 14 games over those times. He did shoot 44% from 3. And his father, Greg, is the EKU women's basketball coach.
That's right. Very good. So we're going to move now into the transfers that have come in to EKU from other places coming into the season. Starting off with 6'7" forward Austin Ball, spent the last 2 seasons at George Mason, shooting 44% field goals and 32% from behind the arc. His freshman season, he did not play last season. Those numbers were strictly from his freshman season. While he was redshirting last season, he added 10 pounds of muscle, I read, or actually I heard him say. So he's really pumped up about that. He said he's much stronger. His ups are up as well. He can really get off the floor. So he's pretty stoked about that. He was a 4-star recruit from high school, 2-time Visa All-State winner from Mann High School in West Virginia, who won their Class A state championship his senior year.
Nice. Then you got another guy who actually spent a redshirt season last year. That would be Jalen Cooper. So he hits Richmond after being with Cal State Fullerton the last 2 seasons. He played 20 games, with a single game high of 12 points last year. And then he was also the Sunshine State Conference, another guy from the Sunshine State Conference coming to EKU. He was their defensive player of the year with 17.4 points. And that was back when he was in the Sunshine State Conference.
Right. Exactly. Some guards coming up here. We'll start with Juan Cranford. He crushed his freshman season at conference champion St. Francis last year. 10.2 points on 45% shooting, 39 from deep. 39% that is. Earning conference rookie of the year honors. 6'4" guard. Also led his team in steals and free throw percentage. So it gives you an element, a little bit of tidbit as to what he can bring to the game aside from offense there.
Right.
Lead the team in steals. He wasn't recruited high out of high school, by the way. He just one school. He said he played football and basketball. Dropped 30 pounds before his senior basketball season in high school.
Oh.
Got noticed and by assistant coach Eric Taylor at St. Francis, and that kind of led him to where he ended up.
Nice.
So he played both. He was really good in both sports, but he just decided to concentrate on basketball.
And it's a good thing he did, because I'm really excited for him. Remember, we talked about him once again in our first week episode, and he took our number 1 spot for that week.
Yeah, I do remember that. Exactly. Anybody that's coming up here next, maybe that has a little history with Juan?
With Juan?
Yeah. What do you think?
Takes Juan to know Juan? You mean Amar Knox, the guy that beat Mr. Juan Cranford Jr. in the March Madness
first 4 game.
This year.
Yep.
And he was the one that scored that final bucket, and that was one thing that we talked about in our previous video. It was not in our first week. I believe that was episode 4 or 5 where we talked about Amar Knox. We've done so many now at this point. And but yeah, you can go back and check that out as well. A little bit on Knox though. He did have a 37-point outburst against Florida A&M February 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be fun to see. Obviously, I'm sure they've talked about that game, but also that last play. Cranford's interview, back to Cranford real quick, he was so bummed that he said he had the ball and got knocked out of his hands, bounced around. Knox got it, dropped it, and then had a nice silly after.
Well, Knox was he's so good at being in the right place at the right time, and that's
just-
why he was able to get that basket.
Exactly. That's right. All right, moving on to 6'2" shooting guard Mason Miles, entering his second college season after redshirting at NAIA Lindsey Wilson College last year. He shot 42% from behind the arc in high school his senior season. What I see from him in highlight package: a quick release, slides to open spots, and has tons of range. So we'll see, how he's going to what kind of role he's going to play.
I have
That's
a feeling it will start off as a limited role.
Oh, I
and
think
it'll
so,
grow
yes.
into something.
Exactly. You got a good group of guards ahead of him there that have college experience.
Right. That's one thing you've been raving about, which we'll talk about in a second here. But before that, let's move into center Asa White. So following 2 seasons with Division II Johnson C. Smith, Asa White joins with 40 tough, adding another lengthy athlete to the roster. White averaged 10 points, 5.3 rebounds, and a block in his 27 games last season, while shooting 57% from the field, and another promising number, 76% from the line. Shows he's got some shooting ability.
Exactly. Right. He could be sneaky.
That's what I'm
Keep an eye
hoping.
on this guy.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yep. All right. Small freshman class for
Anything
KU.
but sneaky, though, out of the first
Oh,
guy.
you think? Yeah. Hey, just the name, Tyler Hype Jackson. We've talked about him, I believe.
Yes.
He is dynamic. 6'2" point guard or ball handler. Let's just call him that. He creates instant mismatch. As soon as he gets the ball, it's a mismatch. He's gonna get open. He's gonna create something. The guy is extremely dynamic with the ball. 4-star recruit, ranked 76 by Rivals. It's the highest ever recruit that EKU's ever had. Is what we
did, yeah.
I think they even listed on their website saying that. Played at SoCal Academy last year. Again, he's going to be a fire guy to watch. Open court, 40 tough minutes, right? We're going to see it.
That's what I'm wondering how many minutes he's actually going to get out of those 40 this year.
Right.
Because there are, once again, we just keep talking about how stacked the guard group is this year.
Right.
But when he's on, it's going to be on.
Yeah, that's right.
For real.
For sure.
Then we got Michael MJ Williams, so he goes by MJ. North Carolina Mr. Basketball finalist. He joins the EKU Colonels for this upcoming season. He's a 5'10" guard, 25 points and 5 rebounds and 3 steals a game is what he averaged last season. He had a career-high 46-point game, and he started in 3 state championship games, which out of coming into your program, that's exactly what you want, that championship experience coming to your team.
Oh, absolutely.
MJ Williams has got plenty of it. And MJ's Instagram post that we posted about him absolutely flew off the handles. I think it was the most love that anyone got out of any of our posts so far. So whatever MJ did while he was there at school, he must have done something right, because lots of people were showing him love.
That's right. And as a former coach, one of the big elements, I love the 5 rebounds. As a 5'10" guy, with that scoring and with that scoring ability to still put the effort in to get average 5 rebounds a game, love it. I think that's fantastic. So overall, let's talk about just where this team lines up. You want to go first? Do you want me to go?
I mean, I'll go. My comment my first thought when looking at this roster for the season was, Coach AW is not scared of guys that sat a year at all. Right. He's not one bit, which is, I mean, when you've been doing it for the length of time and you have the wisdom that you have, you got to trust that out of AW, that this guy saw something in guys that took some time to develop their game and advance even further and figure out how they can maybe even evolve into a new player, change the team in a new role. It's exciting. And then you get a guy like Juan Cranford Jr. on top of all that, and you get Tyler Hype Jackson, and you get MJ Williams. Like, this class is incredible. I think this might be my favorite class that everyone I've seen so far.
I agree with you. My concern is there's only one basketball. That's the biggest thing for me.
Yes.
Right? There's only one basketball on the court. So how is that ball going to get shared amongst the players that are new? And we'll talk about more of this later in the summer or towards the fall as we do preseason breakdowns.
Yes.
But how do these guys gel in with the talent that is already on the squad now? And the ball, and again, only one can go up in the air. Hopefully they can all go get it. So where I'm thinking about too, aside from what we just talked about with the guards, dynamic, obviously, the energy that Austin Ball, Cooper, Asa White bring, that element is huge for this team to bring that balance between guard play. We know they're going to go. We know the pace that AW likes to play at. The forwards, wings can do it as well. How are they going to contribute and fill in those kind of complementary roles to the ball handlers and finish what they start, right? What Cranford, right? That's going to be fun. They're going to be a blast to watch. Even though it was a big turnover, they lost a lot of scoring and they lost a lot of talent. They got a lot back in. So fun times once again.
He reloaded. Sheriff AW reloaded.
Sheriff
He really
Love
did.
it.
He really
Love
did.
it. That's fantastic. Yeah. I do want to highlight Austin Ball. I just want to. I think it's a huge year for him. It's either a make or break season for him. Right, he came out of high school so highly regarded, and really didn't deliver at George Mason the way I think he maybe could on paper. So I think he's got a great opportunity in the role that he's can have that will be defined for him here, and just if he can just focus on that role. He talked about, I'd like to play good defense. Just play, Austin. Play good defense. Don't talk about it. Do it. Do it. Just do
coach.
it. Sky's the limit for you. But I think he's got the length. He's got the athleticism. He's got the confidence in himself. Just go out on that floor and just deliver. Focus, concentrate, and stay in your role. He's got a great chance.
Nice. All right, I guess that's an early newcomer of the year candidate for you, Austin Ball, huh?
Possibly.
That's right. I get that vibe from you. All right, let's move into the team that you're responsible for making our graphics for.
That's
which
right.
They came out great.
Hopefully they look all right. Exactly. We'll find out. Let us know if you like our graphics as well, by the way. Hopefully
Absolutely.
We put a lot of time into
those. Think about those.
There's a lot of subtlety to them. You can look in the backgrounds. Maybe you can find some little hidden nuggets here and there that enthuse you as much as they do us making them. All right, Queens. We'll again start off with the players that have expired their eligibility. The one and only Leo Colomario played 4 seasons at Fresno State and then completed last year his 1 season at Queens. Wow, what a year. What a leader for that club. Started all 35 games, led the way with 13.9 points per game, and his crowning achievement, 35-point effort against Florida Gulf Coast, which led him to being the Lute Olson Oscar Robertson National Player of the Week for NCAA basketball last January 6th.
He had quite a season, and they actually they had him talk about it a little bit. When I say they, I mean the Queens University staff had him talk a little bit about the type of season that he had. So we'll leave a link in the description for that as well. Yeah. But great year out of him coming for Fresno State. And
cool dude too. I like some of the stuff I read. Watched of it.
Absolutely. And speaking of cool dude and leader, like we talked about, it was just with them, they're losing another one in Caleb Matthews. This guy spent the last 5 seasons with the team. 5.15. Just played every role that you could imagine for this organization and did it with pride.
Yeah, you liked him in our Glue Guys show last year.
He was my glue guy. Like he brought leadership quality. I liked how he was consistently talking with the referee or the officials and making sure that everything was up to par. And if there was a bad call, he would call him out on it.
Right.
And you earn that type of relationship with your officials when you consistently talk to them, because then they get to know you and they get to know your personality. So he worked in ways that other guys don't, that contribute to winning, and are not as well respected. It's the definition of a glue guy.
Future coach, perhaps.
I think so.
Mentality. Right?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see how that plays out. That'd be cool. All right, I shouldn't say that. No. Anyways, moving on. Leading the nation in block shots per game and being a Lefty Drizel Defensive Player of the Year finalist is an amazing way to cap off a career, I think. Malcolm Wilson.
Not bad.
That's all right. Malcolm Wilson averaged 5.2 points and 5.8 rebounds. Started all 35 games for the Royals. His scoring average went up 3 times from the previous year, last season, his senior year. It peaked for him.
It clicked.
It really clicked. Great year. Gonna be sorely missed. That's a unique role that the big guy played too. Obviously, aside from the block shots, he was a finisher. He really was smart about positioning himself in the right spot to get putbacks and to get open looks from
and get blocks
and get
too.
blocks. Yes, exactly.
Ate up at the defensive end.
Exactly.
And he's actually another one of those guys too that was kind of in limbo spot right now. Which we haven't seen an official update about it all, but he did put his name out into the transfer portal, and he has full exhausted eligibility, so might have to go through that NCAA waiver again and see what happens. And as soon as we get an update on that, we'll be sure to let you guys know too.
Right.
So let's move into the guys that transferred out, which one of those guys is Jackson Pollard, who's actually going to join Lipscomb's Lenny Acuff at Samford next season. Spent the last 2 seasons with Queens, 36 games played. Another one of those guys that just kind of does everything for the team. He improved in almost every statistical category, 50% from the floor, almost 40% from beyond the arc, almost 5 rebounds, 2 offensive per game. Like that once again, another guy that just does everything. He's those glue guys that did a great job for Queens last year and were a part of why I think they almost overperformed compared to expectation.
I think
at
so,
least
for sure. Yeah, when he didn't start much, but when I don't know if he did at all, but last season, but he was a boss when he came on the floor. Everybody knew he was on there. He dominated rebounds and scoring and touches. He definitely knew he was out there, and he made a huge impact. For sure, gonna be a big loss. All right, as John Anderson's 1 season at Queens yielded the now senior from Tacoma, Washington, 24 games played, 3 starts, 5.9 average, very respectable, and a 24-point showing against Western Carolina early in the season. He's been around. He played at Utah Tech from the WAC his freshman year, Ranger Junior College, JUCO obviously, his sophomore year, and then heads to last year's SWAC championship team, Alabama State, where Amar Knox was.
Yeah, and
that's
I
where he's
just
going
want
next year.
to mention about Anderson too. That was in 9.7 minutes
Wow. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
that he scored those 5 points. That's why I got in real close to the microphone here, almost like I'm talking in your ear. But for real, like that's insane.
Yeah.
To be that much of a firepower scorer in that short of time. Let's move into DJ Shine, though, the McDonald's All-American nominee for his spent his high school senior year at Brewster Academy. He dressed for 17 contests this past season, scored a season-high 13 points in 17 minutes, in his lone start against Carolina University, which is an NAIA school. He actually is currently undecided, which is a little bit of a shock coming from anyone from Queens. But yeah, we haven't seen anything about DJ yet committing anywhere, so we hope you find somewhere soon, DJ.
That's right.
As to everyone else who's still undecided right now.
He would have been high on the name draft.
Yes,
Love
he
the
would.
DJ Shine name. Awesome.
That's like just basically a rap name too.
Yeah, it could be. You're right. Well, this one probably not a rap name. Sawyer Mayhew, 6'10" center. He transferred in to Queens last year. Redshirted his freshman year at UMass. He's from Massachusetts. He just saw limited action against Utah, BYU early in the year, so that was cool against those big teams. But again, this didn't translate into that in anything beyond that consistently. He was named the MVP at the NEPSAC 2023 outing, averaging 20 points per game there. So definitely can score. Just didn't really have much of an opportunity.
And he's playing at Indian Hills next year, you said?
I think it's Indian Hills JUCO.
Yeah, nice. So he'll go down, get some experience there, and possibly come back up to the D1 level.
Exactly.
And also, I could totally rock Sawyer Mayhew as a rap name. It would work. Jordan Neville is our next guy. He's a hometown left-handed guard. He saw action in 18 contests last season. Didn't play any of the season prior, although he wasn't listed as a redshirt for that.
Right.
He made 8 of his 18 shots, all of those being threes. And he is also currently seeking a home for that 25-26 season that we got coming up here.
Right. Next up, Caleb Parr. He didn't see any action for the Royals last season. Northeast Mississippi Community College team in 2024 won the state championship. He shot 44% on his threes in 2 years at MCC with a game high of 29 points. He's going to Division II West Alabama next year. So, again, maybe a reset year, kind of find his
Find
way.
the groove and then,
Exactly,
and then
and
work your way
pop
back
back
up.
up.
Or just find yourself happy down there.
That's right. Yep.
So now let's move into the guys that are coming to Charlotte for the season. We got Cam Clark. He's coming to Queens following 2 seasons of JUCO play. He spent there at Itawamba last
Nice.
season. The 6'7" Clark averaged nearly 10 points and 6 rebounds en route to an NJCAA Region 23 all-tournament team performance. He averaged 47% on his field goals, 34% from deep. Nearly half of his rebounds, by the way, on the offensive end, so creating a lot of second chance opportunities. High energy defender as well with some plus instincts. So another really key quality guy, maybe almost like a trying to play a similar role to Malcolm Wilson.
Yeah.
As far as what you bring to the floor.
Yeah, I can see that. Right, exactly. Yep. I'll get a little different route. I wrote the word versatile for Jim and James. 6'6" guard. 2 years at JUCO. We talked about he's from NEO, right?
Yep. Also another guy from NEO. So NEO's got 2 ASUN guys coming in this year.
Right. So he at NEO averaged 7.9 points, 4.6 rebounds, 3.8 assists, 1.4 steals. Shot 54% from the floor, 37 from long. I look at him as he's a disruptive driver. 83% of his shots were taken from inside the arc, even though he shot well outside. And he had 3.8 assists per game. He doesn't just look for his own, right? He's there to dribble, drive, dish for the easier bucket. That's the kind of player that I saw watching his action and reading his stat line and such. So.
I think Chopper's excited about him.
It sounded like it.
Right. We also got redshirt senior Gus Larson following 2 seasons at Penn, which is the Ivy League, along with spending some time at Cal. Now gets a new start in Queens. Very athletic defensive presence. Also showed some shooting ability in some of the film that I watched about him. He did have a 9.3 rebound, 2 block game against UTEP on November of 2023. He hasn't really gotten to play too much so far in his time due to both injury and limitations as far as playing time ability when it came to Cal, and then suffered some injuries when he got to Penn. So he hasn't really gotten to develop too much, but I'm excited to see what he can do here for Queens and hopefully have a fully healthy season here.
Right. Big good role could be carved for him if he can stay healthy.
If that happens, yeah. If
Exactly.
he stays healthy, he could take off.
Yeah, exactly. Let's move on to junior forward Avante Parker. Spent the last 2 seasons at Georgia Southern, averaged just over 7 points, 4.8 rebounds, and over 1 block per game. So a good versatile player here. Started 23 games of 33 as a freshman. Last year, however, only played 17 games with 2 starts. We're not aware of what happened there to cause a major reduction in playing time. High school, he did have, again, another guy that's got great pedigree, back-to-back state champions, and a great academy in Columbia, South Carolina, not too far from us here. So he's got good pedigree.
Absolutely.
To his history.
And there's another guy, too, that we haven't revealed him yet. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the season on one of our other podcasts, but he's another guy that's coming over there's another guy that's coming over from Georgia Southern now, and Avante Parker. Also Micah Smith, who's going to West Georgia. We haven't talked about him in our off-season moves part yet, but we did talk about him in an early episode.
Right.
So once again, we got another multi-team entry here into the ASUN. So next, rounding our transfer ins, is Carson Schweiger. He has a brother that played with him at Valpo. He went from redshirting in 23-24. This is Carson. And now he ends up with the Queens Royals here this season. He had a 9.10 rebound game at Illinois State on February 1st of 2025. 75% of his shots came from 3 last year, so he's going to be gunning them from deep this next season. I'm looking forward to seeing what Swigert. Once again, another one of those guys that maybe didn't get to quite have much of as big a role as he wanted at his old school.
Right.
And now he's going to come over to the ASUN and maybe run it up a little bit.
That's right. Separating from twins. Not that I'm a twin, but you always hear that story that when twins that are together for a long time, they separate. They find their way.
Really?
Cooper. Yeah.
I never heard that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Or they
never
miss each other and then
Comment
they
down
come
below
back.
if you've heard that before.
Yeah.
I never heard that before.
Yeah,
I'm
they kind of
calling-
branch out. They hit a point where they've had enough of each other. No, not really. You ever have enough of your brother, even though you're not twins?
No, we didn't.
Never.
just-
Never, ever, right?
Never. Not once, not never.
All right, we'll move in now. The freshman group coming into Queens, starting with Danzel Bullock Coles. He does go by just last name Coles on the team website, but Danzel Bullock Coles earned first team All-Region and first team All-State in Virginia last season at St. Anne's Belfield. 6'5" guard wing combo, 15.4 points per game, 8.5 rebounds, 3.8 assists as a senior. Strong straight body guy, slasher, a banger, but he also can step out and hit threes. And maybe not ideal size for a player that would be doing high screen and roll activity, but he's got the game for that and can really bang inside. So let's see how he transitions in that sense.
Continues to become a unique player here in the ASUN.
Right. 6'5", a unique size for
Right.
that skill set.
Right. Now you got a guy who's coming in late entry, signed June 19th. Isaiah Henry, the 6'4", 2 guard from Charlotte. He did play last season with the Diamond Doves at Phoenix Prep. And then he also played a little bit with OTE. Had 16 points that he averaged, 6.5 rebounds per game, and a steal. That was top 25 in all three for the league he was playing in last year. He's a hard-driving, physical guy when he's got the ball in his hands at least, and he likes to finish at the rim. And he also thrives from three as well.
Yeah.
So another one of those similar guys.
Three-tier scorer.
Yeah. You like those guys.
Let's talk about 6'5" guard Jordan Watford from Lancaster, South Carolina. He averaged just over 22 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 2.2 steals, 2.1 blocks per game. Shot over 60% from the field his senior year at high school. They won the Class 4A South Carolina State Championship as a senior year. He's a 3-star recruit according to 24/7 Sports. And he's also the Max Preps South Carolina Player of the Year. Quite a year, senior year. That list of accolades for Watford.
Quiet gave him the golf bark applause
Yes.
for his senior year. For next, we got Seamus Wilson, who committed to the Queens Royals following a dominating high school career. The 6-foot point guard set career school records for points, assists, and steals. While achieving all-state honors, he averaged 24 points per game, 4 steals, 5.5 rebounds, and just about 5.5 assists, and just about 5 rebounds per game. He's a leader on the court. He uses body with deception. Seamus is going to be like a huge building block going forward for Queens in these next 4 seasons.
Yeah.
If he stays the entire time.
Right? Ooh.
Because, you never know what could happen.
Exactly. Right. So that's the list of all the players. There's 9 new in for Queens. I don't see here's how I broke it down. I don't see a very, very solid group of players. I don't see a breakout player personally. Like if you pick one, a George Kimball kind of impact.
Yeah.
Or that kind of player. I see it, but what I see here is just a wave of really good, strong, diverse players. Like they play both ends of the floor hard. They bring length. And here's another thing: Schweiger, Parker, Larson. Those are the only 3 with D1 experience. So there's 6 others, freshmen and transfers in. Again, there's that scenario where are they all going to fit in, acclimating to the D1 level for the first time, or even just the college level for the first time. But I really like the group overall. I think it's a good, solid, foundational transfer or roster new group. Jimmy James, to me, if I was to pick somebody that might step out of that,
Might be that breakout player.
from an offensive perspective, Jimmy James, I think could be that. I wrote, he reminds me a little bit as what I watched of him, maybe a George Kimball, Robert McRae level of type of player that could get the ball and will just score.
But yeah, didn't you talk about his defensive game earlier though? Too?
But he's also I did. But I'm
That's
thinking
why I
about,
compared him to Malcolm Wilson, because like Malcolm Wilson did both on both ends last year. That's why I said like he might be that type of role where he's more like the defensive anchor who can contribute as a secondary offender.
Oh, I get no. I'm thinking maybe get a different player. I'm thinking Jimmy James, the wing. Garvin,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. No, I think he's got some go to him on the offensive end. He might jump there. So that's the one player to me that I don't know that he's going to take over and just dominate games and get off 10, 20 shots per game.
Right.
But when he has the ball, he's going to get hot and score or dish. That's what I see there. Also, and like you mentioned him a little bit, Seamus Wilson. He's a 6'6". The accolades he got. I know he went being from Idaho. It's non-traditional basketball state. But he's got a pretty unique path forward, I think. Just with the stats he has, the type of player watching him, plays a very mature game. Even though he's a 6-footer, not really concerned about 6 foot, just other than the fact that it's a big jump from you look at the overall roster sizes there. How is he going to adjust with that? So I said kind of like, is he a Hoosiers kind of guy? Is he John Stockton in the making? Or I don't know if you remember Jimmer. Do you remember Jimmer for that?
Yeah, I know. But back up from your microphone because you're starting to sound bad.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I remember Jimmer.
Jimmer Fredette. Like, those are some of the players that come to mind. And maybe he's got the potential to develop into that.
Okay.
And to your point, like you said, maybe he won't be here at Queens for very long, or at this level for very long. Maybe he'll start
Interesting.
Forward. Yeah.
So he's your early candidate.
He's my early candidate. Yes.
For maybe something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
What do you got?
Well, so your first sentence to me speaks entirely of what Grant Leonard builds every year at Queens. And what you were talking about was you didn't see an offensive firepower guy. You didn't see one guy that's going to be the juggernaut on offense, except for maybe Jim and James, which I realized I was confusing it with Cameron Clark.
Yeah.
Is who I was confusing it with from earlier. But so if that's the case, then they're probably just going to do the same thing all over again this year. We're going to underestimate them once again. We're all going to say, where the heck is their scoring going to come from? We know they got it on the defensive end, but how are they going to win games if they can't score? And then they're going to prove it every single game that they outwork, out-hustle, and outplay teams.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how they get their wins.
Oh, yeah, I can totally see it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just don't think it's going to come from one or two spots. It's going to come from a balanced attack, right?
Once again, speaking to what Grant Leonard, I think, does every single year.
Yeah.
And especially last year, we saw that.
Yep,
So,
exactly.
But that's going to do it for our Season 3, Episode 7. And if you have anything else you want to see, be sure to let us know down in the comments below. Let us know your thoughts about the off-season moves for all 3 of these teams that we talked about today, and we'll have a new batch of 3 teams next week. Until next time, have a good night.